Okay, these are the pieces that we're going to use. I'm going to work with these colors here. I really like the texture. I really like what selection I have. Camille likes the selection as well. And so I got to go home and get to work. I was asking Camille earlier about her friend, about the piece, so I can kind of have some kind of idea on what I will be doing and creating for her. We've worked in the past a lot. And so far, so good. Yay, knock wood. so hopefully what I do and what I have in my head and from the things that she's told me about her friend and what she has in her head, I can pull it off for her and make it all fabulous, you know, everything really beautiful. And that's that. I love working with her. I'm excited about this project. And yeah. That's it. Yay!
Make any huge firm commitments about what I think we're going to do, but what I think we should pursue, and I'm prepared to do this, is, you know, the idea of a beach is really inspiring because it's such a universal metaphor. You can use that kind of setting for a lot of things. I think is work within, and this wouldn't be very realistic, but work within the kind of visual references to like an oncoming storm. You know, when you're on the beach and you see weather coming at you and it's always very low on the horizon, and sort of some variations there. So we're not talking about a, you know, Gidget sort of beach. We're talking about probably the beach on a day very much like this, or at night. And I think we can maybe use some times of day things, ideas for that. And so the way we do all of this, what I'm really thinking of working with a lot is a bunch of templates on the Saycon, which is really soft, but so that we have sort of a modeled texture with kind of storm clouds being the inspiration, but nothing so realistic as, oh, there's a cloud on the horizon. And I think we work with that, we work with some color, and I think that'll give us a real sense of place for the piece to take place. So that was my thought.
So about a year ago, Camille asked me to collaborate with her on her piece City of Rain for the Joyce. So in creating the piece, I took quite a bit of time, 2 or 3 weeks, to really meditate. Camille said it was basically in tribute to our friend Burke Wilmore, who passed away recently. So I meditated on these, on this topic, what his struggle must have been like, the process of letting go, and really I started to try and take a more general stance of like, what is the human experience? How do we all deal with letting go, and how do we deal with our natural mortality? And what is there that can be learned from that? So in making the piece, I basically built the entire piece from a construct and played all the instruments myself, and then I got 3 or 4 talented string players to come in and do. They played notes that I had written, and then also I led them through a series of guided improvisations with imagery, and talked through some of the images that Camille had given me, some of my own images, and then I spent a good 3 weeks sculpting what I got into the finished product. So what I'm aiming is for this piece to bring each audience member into a place where they are confronted with the sense of letting go, and a real human quality is what I went for in this.
But basically the song is broken up into sections of this girl's life. So I took like each section, broke it down into just visuals that I could probably use. Like there was one about beads and sandals and being a child. So I pretty much tried to group together different themes that would correlate with each other. The process was kind of crazy because actually I'm not really like mainly a painter, I'm more of a graphic designer. So I took kind of the graphic design approach, so I would draw and then paint and then scan into the computer and then fix some stuff, paint some more, add some more. It was just more like a mixed media type project, cut and paste, that kind of thing.
When I first
talk to Camille about doing Girlz verse. We had discussed about coming to see a rehearsal, so I came and saw a rehearsal of the piece first, and immediately was drawn to the MIA music and knew that the piece needed a pop feel to it. And then from there, Camille and I discussed the themes of the piece and had discussed kind of that duality of women and of femininity and the aggressiveness of femininity and as well, and in the piece itself. So a lot of the design that I had done was addressing that duality and having very extreme pop colors in the piece that would help emphasize that that nature of the women in the piece. I also have designed the lights for Been There, Done That, and I had seen a rehearsal of that as well, and had designed the lights around the kind of the complicated nature of relationships that Camille is bringing out in the piece. There's playful nature in it, as well as some aggressive stuff that's going on, and very friendly kind of playing that I brought out through the design. And I utilized a pattern that would kind of show the texture and the nature of those relationships, as well as I provided a kind of mood and atmosphere through a lavender color, which could be linked to relationships that are brotherly and sisterly in nature, or they could also, very family oriented, or they could be romantic or unromantic. And so a lot of the color that I used in the piece kind of mimics that relationship between the two characters in it.